Welcome folks to the Cutno Catering website. I'm Jeff Cutno, and today we are going to make a pork roulade that is stuffed with sun-dried tomatoes, capers, and potatoes. It's a good meal for the holidays, good Italian flavor, and I will show you how to do it. And after you're done here, we're going to know how to pound out meat and tie it up and roast it to perfection. Alright, so let's get ready to go. On the website we have the recipe for this, so I won't go into amounts now. Kind of show you the process and to show you how doable everything is here while my eyes water heavily. Alright, we're almost there. Good. We have our onion here, and we're going to set that aside for now. And now we're going to dice up our potato. And you want to dice up potato good, because if it's real chunky, you're going to end up with a roulade that doesn't roll very well because your potato is too chunky. Your dice is too big. You need this to fit nice and neat and have a nice neat look when you roll it up in your roulade. So we're going to go fine with this dice here. Dice it up fine. Nice sharp knife always helps. And this needs to be fine, folks, because it's going to take forever for you to saute them to softness. You don't have them pretty small. Stuffing it straight into the pork roulade. I tried to cut it, just roast it, with the potatoes still raw, and I did not get good results. I think no matter how long you were to roast it, first of all, you don't want to over roast pork, right? And I think no matter how long you roast it, the potatoes that are all fired up here, all fired up. Close to what we're doing here. We're heating up olive oil in the pan. You don't want the flame too high. Onions first. Put this down. Add a little more oil in there. We want it to have it kind of a wet mixture so it all kind of clumps together. Cook those very briefly. Alright folks, let's add the potatoes. Now you only need, you'll see on the recipe, you don't need that much of a filling. Do with the basil. We're going to cut it chiffonade. Basically, you're going to roll it up. Roll up your basil leaves after you stack them. You just cut them into thin strips. Here's nice basil. Very nice. Keep a good stir. Give a good stir on your potatoes so you don't end up with true hash browns. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Now, we're going to cook these potatoes about 3/4 of the way, because there is going to be a little bit of cooking that happens to the potatoes while rolled in the roast. Stack these. That's probably plenty. You don't want to overdo it. We don't want it all. Our pork roulade to taste like flowers. We don't want that much. But we have thin strips here. This cut is called chiffonade. You don't want it to be liquidy at all. You don't want it to be watery. You want it to be a solid mixture, but it's almost acts as a paste. So we add our capers in there. Mix that in. Why the capers for the sun-dried tomatoes? Because sun-dried tomatoes are more sensitive to breaking down. They've been marinated. Now we're going to do, let's start adding some sun-dried. Now, you want to save some money. You don't have to use these jarred ones. I almost didn't. You could use the ones that are really, really dry, not marinated. They'll save you a little money, and that's just fine. The reason I chose these is because I like the color of these, whereas the dried ones were kind of a dark, you know, had some blackishness to them. Too bad. Those will be at the end, the shipping on, the basil. Now, one thing about this stuff, you're talking about the serious, maybe you'll look at this while it still has the basil in it. Very nice, very nice. Maybe you spread it out, it's quicker. Rushed professional people. Alright. So you see, you got here potatoes, sun-dried, basil, red onion, capers, olive oil, salt, pepper. Fantastic. It looks good enough by itself, doesn't it? Yep. We're going to let that cool. Now, we are filming here at the College Park Women's Club in College Park, obviously. This is Camellia Hall. We have events here. We've done weddings here. We have cooking classes here. And I highly suggest it as a place to hold your event if you live here in Atlanta. I used the pork loin. This is going to be way too much for our purposes, so I'm going to cut this in half. Save the rest for dinner. Here. Alright. I'm not going to take too much of the fat off. So I want some of that stuff to be in the flavor. I'm saying 3/4, but it's basically just when it wants to barely between two sheets of plastic. I'm from the South, actually. That's not a real accent. Alright. Over here. So you have a piece of plastic on bottom, piece of plastic on top. And we have it spread out here. We're almost there. And I think we've achieved 1/2 inch. Outstanding. Looking good. That's a little thick, but we're going to go a little thick for this demonstration. So that you start off with a doable thickness here. Alright. Now, I'm going to take the filling we have here, which is moderately cool. I'm going to spread out the filling. Tomatoes, potatoes, basil, capers, red onion, all. Alright, we're going to spread it there. Now, this has about an inch coming in on all sides here. Because when we roll it, it's going to creep, right? Alright. Get that out. And we're going to first roll it. Okay, I need a little more. It's beautiful already. And it's not even cooked. What you do is you take the edge Okay? You might want to back up this edge, and then because again the filling's going to creep forward. Of course, in a perfect world, it'll not creep forward at all. You're going to do one fold. You have to be really careful here. Another roll. Each time you're gathering, going very slow. Another roll. Another roll. And you know what? You got a final roll here. Alright. So we have a roll going on here. I'm going to be very careful with that. What I'm going to do now, let's move this guy over here. We're going to get our string ready. Cut 3 strings. 3 strings for tying the roast. Yeah. Now these strings have to be pretty close. We first of all don't have a very long pork loin for the purposes of this demonstration. And they need to be close anyway, actually, whether they're long or short. Alright, you're going to lay a pork loin on top of there, on top of the strings. Okay? And you want that string about 1.5 inches, 2 inches in from both ends, and then one right down the middle. And the longer the pork loin, you want basically about 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches between, I would say 2 inches. You first tie, I first tie the ends myself, because I don't want as much to come out of the end of the pork loin. Now you want to tie it, pull the string tight enough to where it's secure, but not to where it's tearing or squeezes everything out. Just secure and snug. You can feel it. Just do a double knot, and that's that. And you do the other outer string. Get that a little more in. You're better coming in than out because it's going to slip off altogether. You don't want that. Alright, nice and snug, but not cutting through. There you go, double knot. And then in the middle, this is where you get the snug look. You're going to pull that the tightest of all of them. This is a pretty thick roulade, so I'm going to pull pretty tight and try to get uniform on all of it, and you get more of a roll. The tighter you can achieve your pull. Alright. Now, I am going to just airlift it into the pan that was spread out with the, if you want that kind of look, inside and outside. So one thing you want to do is get some more oil, salt and pepper on the outside of the pork loin. A little bit of oil on. And we're going to rub that all the way around. After, put some more salt. And some more pepper. And you know, if you want to, you can put some basil on there, but I have some basil on I got some basil on your thing here. And you're going to rub that around. You have to rub it on both sides. Rub the oil on there, all sides. So you got a little roll going there. Rub it on all sides, yeah. Alright. And you're good to go. You have your oven ready to go at 325. Alright guys, should be about time. Come out of the oven.